episode and just all the things that was happening at the trade deadline and all of that stuff. So real quick, we'll go ahead and play some of the voicemails back. Again, go ahead, shoot us a quick take, 219-413-9405. Especially if you want to get off your Super Bowl takes, you want to let me know what you would rate Kendrick Lamar's performance and what you thought of the Super Bowl. Because I personally thought the Super Bowl was awful. That game was terrible. It was a terrible game. That was a Week 4 type of game. NFL could have kept that. I would have rather seen the Bills, the Lions, anybody else. Anyway, look, so let's jump into the voicemail calls. Again, 219-413-9405 if you want to leave a quick take. And then here's the first one. Let's do it.
This is Kai. I feel like if the Nuggets get Jimmy Butler, I feel like, we have a chance. I say get rid of Aaron Gordon and probably P. Watt. But Jimmy.
All right, so as you know, look, Jimmy Butler recently got traded. So I'm guessing this was right before he got traded, and it was official that he was going to the Golden State Warriors. But first, appreciate you for calling, bro. And, I'm glad he didn't go to the Lakers. And honestly, bro, with Jimmy Butler even going to the Golden State Warriors, is this really going to help the Warriors? Yeah, I know they won their first game against the Chicago Bulls. Really, y'all going to be excited about that? Seriously? But, however, with Jimmy Butler on the Warriors, bro, I just don't think it's a recipe for a championship. I don't think it's a recipe for a playoff run. If anything, they'll actually get in playoff contention and they'll possibly have a play-in game. But I don't see that being a good recipe for a championship or anything like that with Jimmy Butler going there, because it's still just not enough pieces around that Warriors locker room to really help them evolve past the Oklahoma City Thunder. Hell, even the Houston Rockets or somebody right now, because man, first off, it's the dynamic in that locker room is already insane. Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, oh man, hell no. And then you gave up Wiggs. Like I'm not a fan of that Warriors move, getting rid of Jimmy Butler. To me, it was odd, and it was a move out of desperation for the Warriors because they just trying so hard to get back to relevancy of winning games, but don't seem like that's actually going to be the case anytime soon for the Golden State Warriors, even though they did get Jimmy Butler. But of course, appreciate you for calling. We got another voicemail. Let's go ahead and play it and see what they're talking about. Let's do it.
My name's Uriah.
It's good.
My quick take real quick is I think that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest Milwaukee Buck to ever play the game of basketball. And he's also the greatest NBA player of all time. Because he didn't have help. Because Magic Johnson was too busy getting his Johnson magic. Never mind.
Hey, yo. Hey, you gotta chill, bro. Hey, yo. Come on, man. You gotta chill, dog. Well, whoa. Why you have to go there, bro? Why? I get you on, like you could have just left it at the Bucks and Kareem being the greatest, bro. But come on, bro. Why you had to go there with Magic, dog? You crazy for that? You know, you wild. You a wild boy. For that one. Anyway, to comment on the Bucks. Okay, first, yeah, let's go back. Let's go back to what you just said, because Kareem, greatest Buck of all time. I'll take it. I'll accept it. I won't even debate you on Kareem being the greatest Buck of all time. However, you started to push the limits just a little bit when you started saying greatest player of all time. Now, I know this is Kareem. This is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Lou Alcindor, all that. I get it. I've never got a chance to watch Kareem. I know he has some unstoppable moves, but I also know that he was playing with a lot of unathletic white men at that time. And I'm just saying, the game did eventually evolve, but if it wasn't for Magic Johnson, it's a good chance that Kareem would have never ever seen them last few championships, because Magic did come in and save the day. Kareem was on his last back few legs, moving like an old head. And if you go look at some of the highlights and stuff and just some of the clips from him at that time, bro, you can see it. He wasn't moving like no young man at that time. Everybody knows what a 24, 28-year-old man moves like. And that is not a 28, 29, 34. Like, he was moving like a 50-year-old. Let's keep it a buck, man. So I'm going to just say that. I was with you when you said he's the greatest Milwaukee Buck of all time, but greatest player of all time. I cannot give that to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The game has evolved way past what he was doing at the time, and that's just what the reality of the situation is. The game is going to continue to evolve, and right now, anybody who's arguing about the greatest of all time and they not saying that man LeBron James, then hey, bro, it's no point of even having a conversation, honestly, because I'm a big Kobe fan, and it took me years and years and years and years and years and years and years to even have the conversation that maybe LeBron was a little bit better all time than Kobe, but I've accepted the fate, and I think you need to do the same when you talk about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar being the greatest of all time, because it's still, before I even get to LeBron, I would even go Mike and Kobe. Like, I would still go put people above him, but I understand it. I understand the greatness, and above all, bro, you didn't have to wild out by saying Johnson was getting his Johnson played with like that. You crazy as hell for that. Crazy as hell. Anyway. Appreciate you for calling, though, Uriah, bro. Shout out to you, man. Thanks for leaving the take. All right, we got one more, man. This is the last one. Then we go wrap up. But here's what he had to say. Let's do it.
What's going on, Manny? This is Jared calling in.
Jared, was good.
So I truly do believe this is a win-win trade if I've ever seen one. The Mavericks receive an all-NBA power forward who's finally going to be able to play his natural position. The Lakers receive an all-world player who'll be getting a fresh start at the price of some adversity. I'm excited for both players because it gives all parties involved a new look and trajectory at the expense of a few headlines and hurt feelings. But I truly do believe this is a good trade for the National Basketball Association. Thanks for having me on, man.
Of course, bro, and I'm gonna bring you back on. So first, let me give you a little context, and I'm gonna explain, and I'll talk to Jared a little bit more through the pod. But first things first. So he was commenting on the Anthony Davis and Luka Doncic trade. I think I got a chance to talk about that in the last episode. That might have been the last one that I was able to record, but honestly, bro, that trade just threw the entire schedule off of what I had planned that week in my absence. But man, it was crazy. So. I agree with you, though, Jared. That's a fair trade between both teams. I think the Mavs getting Anthony Davis is solid for them. They get an all-time big guy that plays both sides of the ball. And Luka Doncic, even though there's some rumors about him struggling with his weight, still gets a lot of benefit from going to the Lakers. I mean, they get to build a new team around Luka Doncic, and he's there with LeBron. Maybe can pick up some stuff about how to maintain his weight and be all right. But ultimately, you know, I think this trade was blown out of proportion just a little bit in terms of who won and who didn't win the trade, because in reality, it does benefit both teams and what they are aiming to do in terms of the next few years of their franchise. The Mavs, they still got a good shot at going to the finals this year. As long as AD is healthy. We just seen he got injured off a non-contact injury. Of course, that's a classic AD. And then Luka Doncic hasn't really started with his Lakers run just yet. Maybe he'll play tomorrow. But other than that, I mean, I think both teams do benefit, and we just won't really know how it works out until time plays his part. Because who's to say Luka doesn't get fat, as the Mavericks are predicting? Who's to say Anthony Davis doesn't go on to win the Mavs 2 championships? Who's to say Luka Doncic doesn't go on to win the Lakers 2 championships, and AD never plays again because he's always hurt? So it's like only time is going to be able to tell for these answers to questions, or these questions, answer these questions that we don't have answers to. So yeah, man, we'll see. But no, above all, I think you're absolutely right. Definitely a fair trade on all sides, and there was a bit of an overreaction in terms of what the Mavs lost, but I understand it, because losing your star player and just, man, having your star player traded when he's played his heart and soul for your team, got him to a conference finals, and also lost them a championship. I get it. Because I would be torn if the Pistons traded Cade Cunningham. I don't care who it was for. I would be torn because that's a homegrown guy, you know? So I get it for the Dallas Mavericks, man. But hey, that trade is up. So y'all got to figure it out from there. Anyway, again, shoot us a quick take, 219-413-9405. If you heard something throughout the show that you want to comment on, definitely want to hear y'all Super Bowl thoughts. Whether it's the halftime show, the game, what you thought about Pat Mahomes, is Jalen Hurts a top 5 quarterback? I got to hear about all of this stuff because it's a lot of stuff to answer. And you'll probably get a lot of content this week. I say that now, but I also just got back from vacation. So we'll see. But also too, yeah, Boston was dope, man. I got a lot of respect for Boston. It's dope. Not better than Chicago, but I loved it there. It was amazing. Did a Fenway tour. You're going to have to just check the IG because I'll post more stuff on there. But give me a sec, bro, because I'm terrible at posting, but it's going to be up there in a sec. So check out the IG at The Run Podcast. You can check out the personal as well at I am Manny Wilson. And then a positive note, I do got to leave y'all on a positive note as always. And I'll just say, learn from the mistakes that you make. Learn from mistakes. For example, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, they played the Chiefs a couple years ago and they lost. They got beat. Jalen Hurts, he played the Chiefs again and he prevailed. He won. He learned from the mistakes of everything that happened in the previous game against the Chiefs a couple years ago, and now he ultimately ended up being victorious. So I'm going to just say, learn from your mistakes as you go. Don't be too hard on yourself when you do make mistakes. I mean, we all make mistakes. Ain't nobody perfect. But just make sure you sit back, evaluate, and think about how you can get better next time you come across that similar situation. So learn from your mistakes.